and gentlemen, welcome back to the Before the Ball Drop podcast. This is episode 6. These are your hosts, James.
And Rebecca.
We are back with you again for the 6th week. Now, maybe not in a row because sometimes we took a week off for other things that have come up, but we're trying our best, and we are back again for the first episode of 2026.
Yeah, it's been quite a ball dropped in between the episodes.
Yes, exactly. Another year has come and gone, making the 90s even further away, and that's very depressing to think of.
I know, right? Another year down. But,
Yep.
another year to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Should be an exciting one. Speaking of exciting, this episode is a special one. This is our first ever album clash. Now, this was an idea that comes from the Talk is Jericho podcast with Chris Jericho. He's done these before, and we wanted to give it a try for ourselves. We wanted to do our own spin on it. So this will be a 90s themed album clash. And what we do is you take two albums that have the same amount of tracks, and you compare them track versus track. Normally, in the original format of the album clash that they do on Talk is Jericho, they would take like two Metallica albums, two Ozzy albums, two whatever, like they'd be the same band. But this will be a little bit different because we were decided to do, number one, it's a pain in the ass to try to find like tracks, like albums by the same band that have the exact same amount of tracks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But we did this. I found a really good loophole, and it's not the exact same band, but it is Nirvana and the Foo Fighters, and the two albums being In Utero by Nirvana and Foo Fighters Self-Titled by the Foo Fighters, 1993 and 1995 respectively. Both have 12 tracks on them, so that's the one we went with.
Very excited to talk about it.
Yes. Now, when I was doing my research for this, I wanted to make sure that I had everything correct and didn't give credit to the wrong people. Taylor Hawkins, rest in peace, was a longtime drummer for the Foo Fighters, but he was not a part of the band during the first album. As a matter of fact, this first Foo Fighters album, I've come to find out, is pretty much all Dave Grohl. Like, everything on that album. All the instruments. He basically did the entire album, like, by himself, and had some guest musicians every now and again, but it's... For the most part, like I'm gonna say, like 95% of the Foo Fighters self-titled album is all Dave Grohl, which is incredible and a testament to just how great of a musician Dave Grohl is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't want to give credit, like be like, oh, Taylor Hawkins' drums on this were amazing, but because I was listening every time I was listening to it, I'm always like, man, Taylor Hawkins been playing the drums a lot like Dave Grohl. No, that is Dave Grohl playing the drums.
Oh, so he did the entire album himself, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the funny thing about this is Dave Grohl's a winner either way, whether he wins with Nirvana or wins with the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Which band do you prefer, like, out of both of them? Like, if you could listen to either one.
I would have to go with the Foo Fighters, actually, as much as I love Nirvana. Me and the Foo Fighters have been around a long time, and there's so much content. So there's more of a variety. It's more of a catalog now, obviously. Nirvana only got to record a few albums during their time, and they're good albums. But I don't know. I've always loved Dave Grohl. I love his songwriting. I love his intensity and his musical artistry. Huge fan of. I love Nirvana. I love Kurt Christ and Dave, all of them. But like. Yeah, Dave's the guy for me. Like, what about you?
I would have to say Nirvana out of the two, just because I was never a huge listener of the Foo Fighters. But Nirvana, I definitely grew up listening to, so Nirvana would have to be probably the winner, just by bias sakes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people. It's like a lot of people that prefer Dave Grohl as a drummer. Other people as a singer and songwriter. For me, he's just incredible all around as an artist, and yeah, it's pretty exciting that we're going to be doing this. I have some good notes for it.
I'm winging it.
Yeah, it's all right. It'll be one of those things where it's a learning experience. Like you see how it's done one time, and then like we'll both get better at it, just like we have with the podcast in general.
Yeah.
So like now we've settled in like to this groove with our sixth episode. It just feels natural now, which I like.
Yeah, I mean, I think we make a pretty good team, so, we're
Yeah,
just
definitely.
natural with each other.
Mm-hmm. It's like perfect right now. And so should we? Let's get into the album. The first track of each album. And we could play like I think we could play like samples of it on here because like it is on Spotify, but I don't know if that there might be some type of copyright thing, so we probably can't.
There might
So I don't
be.
think I. Yeah.
I mean, we can. It probably won't be a strike. It'll probably just be like one of the ones that don't affect your channel. Um,
Hmm.
so, I mean,
Yeah.
we could if you want.
Yeah. If we end up needing like a sample or like anything to like like refresh anybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
So the opening track on Nirvana's In Utero is "Serve the Servants," and then the opening track on the Foo Fighters is called "This Is a Call." Um, so for "Serve the Servants," I like the lyrics a lot more than the one for the lyrics for "This Is a Call" by Foo Fighters. Uh, but "This Is a Call" has a way better groove to it. And the intro to beginning, it sounds like someone putting a tape in and starting the tape. So it's a great, perfect intro track to a record. And so it's like a tape really starting up. But the lyrics for "Serve the Servants" is great. Some of my favorite lyrics in there is "If she floats, then she's not a witch like we thought. Another down payment on one at Salem's Lot." I think those are some nice little lyrics. Um, but "This Is a Call" is like there's something about that song. I just think it's perfect for an opening track, and um, I would actually go with "This Is a Call" as the winner for me personally for the first track on the album.
hmm.
Your thoughts?
I mean, I did like Serve the Servants, um,
Mhm.
but I will have to give it to Foo Fighters for this one because I like the lyrics a lot more as well. Like,
Yeah.
especially just the ending where it was like, I had no hand in your desperate plan. It returns when it lands. Words are due.
Oh, that's that's the "I'll Stick Around" by the Foo Fighters. That's the second track.
Oh, that's the second track. Sorry.
Yeah, no, see, it's okay. It's all right. No, for yeah.
Well, I like that one. So
Yeah,
that's a
so
song that I
we
like.
know which one you'll like for the for the second
Yeah.
one. All right, yeah, yeah. The one for yeah, the intro song for the Foo Fighters was this one. Like you can if you can hear it or not.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is a call by the Foo Fighters was the yeah, for me, I made it. I said it was the winner because of the opening. Like, I just think it's perfect for just an opening track to an album, so that's why I chose it.
Also, can we just appreciate the artwork difference? Like, both kind of complement each other.
Um, yeah, no, yeah, you're right about that. The artwork on each album cover for In Utero and for Foo Fighters self-titled, yeah. Um, Foo Fighters is such a weird like cover. It's just this gun, but like it's a very simplistic thing. Sometimes less is more, though.
Yeah. And then in
But
Utero
like
is just like this weird humanoid thing. It's kind of weird.
with wind. Yeah, it is. It's very weird. I like on Spotify the animation of each one of the albums, like the covers. Like when you're listening to it on Spotify, the album cover it like animates, and then for the Foo Fighters one, like the gun like moves and stuff, and then for the Nirvana in Utero, it like the figure moves around, and then like it shows this really cool art of the band and shit. Like it's really cool. Really cool photo of the band with the cross in the background with crows on it, and it's really neat.
No, it definitely is. I like that.
Yeah, you seeing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, like I love it. So I gave the point to the Foo Fighters for the first one myself, and
And I guess, yeah, I'll give Foo Fighters a point for the first one as well.
all right, sweet. So this is a call wins. It beats Serve the Servants out, which um, might surprise some people. Now, the second track, Setless Apprentice by Nirvana, which is a very interesting song, versus I'll Stick Around by the Foo Fighters, which is the one that you were mentioning earlier. um, Kurt's angsty wails on this track, they really stand out, though, on Setless Apprentice. It's really like a great grunge track. It's got funky lyrical content, which is commonplace with Kurt, especially on this record. But once again, I'm gonna have to go with the Foo Fighters because the first thing we hear is Dave banging the shit out of those drums. I'll stick around, and then we hear his voice, and it's like that song's like an epic like "fuck you" type song message to like a person that you could like like it's so good. Like yeah, like the I don't owe you anything. Like yeah, like I love that, and they talked about it on Beavis and Butt. They made fun of it on Beavis and Butthead as well. It's like it's all I ever think about when I hear that song is Beavis and Butthead talking about it. They're like, Butthead's like, hey, that's that dude from Nirvana, and Beavis is like, Butthead, I don't think that dude's with us anymore. You shouldn't say that. And he's like, no, dumbass, I'm talking about the drummer. I never seen that drummer before in my life. That's not him. No, dumbass, I'm talking about the drummer from Nirvana is the one singing here. It was so funny.
That's great.
So yeah. Yeah, so I'll Stick Around by the Foo Fighters is my winner, and I'm pretty sure that's yours as well.
For this one, yeah, the lyrics
Yeah.
in this song, "The Scentless Apprentice," I appreciate the vibe that he was going for and the meaning behind it, but I don't know, it
Mhm.
just throws me off a little bit.
It's a very weird song. Like the lyrics are very weird,
I will give
but
that to Kurt though. Like he's always been very, or he was always very unique with his lyrics,
yeah,
which
yeah, exactly.
I'll
I've
bring up
always
in a few songs.
yeah, I've always appreciated that. He's I think like it's great. Weezer came around like shortly after Nirvana, and like Weezer's like Rivers Cuomo is known for like weird and zany like little lyrics as well. So like there's actually a whole conspiracy theory where they said Rivers Cuomo and Kurt Cobain were the same person.
Yeah,
That was such a weird one. But it was like yes, because the guy who notoriously hated being famous, Kurt Cobain, would fake his death just to be in another band that became famous.
right. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Like dang, bro, then he'd have to fake his death again to get out of that.
Right.
He just keeps on joining other bands and then becoming famous again. Dang it! Ah, I keep doing this.
Keeps denying, dodging the death allegations. He's like, "Oh no,
Something
I've never heard of this
coming.
guy."
Nope, Rivers Cuomo's dead. Kurt Cobain's dead. I'm neither of those guys. I'm the different guy now.
Just
I
keeps
mean, not now. I mean, like I'm the different guy. And no, you know what I'm saying.
just keeps getting like plastic surgery.
Hmm. Oh my god. This matchup, the next matchup, the third one is actually one that I thought was going to be like a harder one for me for some reason. I don't know why, but it's Heart Shaped Box versus Big Me. You could have put Big Me from by Foo Fighters against like a lot of songs on In Utero, and I'd probably pick it. It was a Mentos commercial. They had it in a Mentos commercial. It was called. They said Futos. It was like a Foo Fighters Mentos commercial with this song, Big Me. But you just Heart Shaped Box is a goddamn masterpiece. Like it's like forever in debt to your priceless advice. Like one of my favorite lyrics ever. And Big Me is such a fun song. It just sucks that it had to go against Heart Shaped Box because you can't beat Heart Shaped Box. I'm going
No,
with Heart Shaped Box.
I would say Heart Shaped Box because I also think it's funny that the previous song is Dave Grohl mentioning like I don't owe you anything, but then this one is like, hey, forever in your debt, you know. I don't know, it just
Yeah,
kind of funny.
yeah. Dave Grohl doesn't owe you anything, but Kurt Cobain, he's forever in debt to your priceless advice. It's
Right.
like they're playing good cop, bad cop on us. Dave Grohl's the bad guy. He's like Goofus and Gatlin. It was a Goofus and Gallant. I don't owe you anything. Forever in debt. Priceless advice. Yeah, that is a funny. That would have been better if those were the songs that went against each other. Oh man, but yeah, Heart Shaped Box just a complete masterpiece of a song, and it's like I don't know, it's like timeless. It's one of those songs that you hear on the radio now, and you're like, it fits in like with anything else. Like if they played it on like modern radio and like mixed in with modern songs, it fit right in with it. So it's another example of like music that was ahead of its time with Nirvana and Heart Shaped Box.
No, I agree. That's very true.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the winner, Heart Shaped Box by Nirvana. And the next set of songs is an actual big matchup for me, and I ended up changing my pick like halfway through of writing the notes for it. So it's our our word me versus Alone and Easy Target. Um, Now that song, the first one by Nirvana is I absolutely love it, but I also absolutely love Alone and Easy by Foo Fighters, but uh our it's a word that could be triggering, so I don't want to say it, and it could like be like detrimental to the I don't know if you could say it on the podcast.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I think people know the infamous song.
yeah, so so R Me by Nirvana. It's a great example of Nirvana at its best. All the members on their A game there. um Alone and Easy, though, to me demonstrates the absolute powerhouse Dave Grohl is on his own and what he would become later on. Since we mentioned that he did all this, like the music himself in the Foo Fighters album, the first one. And Alone and Easy Target is actually one of my favorite Foo Fighters songs ever, and it's gotten better over time. Like I've listened to it a lot again recently, just this past week, just remembering how much I love that track. It just rocks so hard. So you can call this an upset victory because I'm gonna go with Alone and Easy by the Foo Fighters.
I'm actually going to go with Army because of the background behind the song specifically. Because a lot of people on their previous album, I think it was Polly, was actually an anti R song. And from what I understand, Kurt was frustrated that people didn't understand that or grasp it. So then he came back with this song and made it more explicit as kind of like a okay, well you didn't really get the idea of the first song, which he was never like for the R word
Yeah,
or anything, right?
yeah.
But it was kind
Hmm.
of like an fu to people in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, and yeah, that's a great. I'm glad that you brought up that factoid, that story. That's awesome, because a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, Polly was a great song off of the Nevermind album by Nirvana, which was their breakout album. The baby on the front. That yeah, Polly's such a great song. It is a misunderstood song. Yeah, Polly's a misunderstood song. So is Army. It's another one, and yeah, you're absolutely right. So you're gonna go with that song as your winner?
I am, yeah.
Heck yeah! So I picked Foo Fighters, you picked Nirvana, and everybody got like some background that they might not have known about the song. So it's a big win for everybody, all around.
Perfect.
And the next one is Frances Farmer Will Have Her Revenge on Seattle by Nirvana versus Good Grief by the Foo Fighters. And Frances Farmer was actually an famous like actress from Seattle area who struggled infamously with like mental health problems, but was like known as like a martyr for people with mental health like issues. And I think Kurt viewed her as like a hero, and a lot of people did, and that's why he wrote the song. Frances Farmer Will Have Her Revenge on Seattle. He actually also named his daughter Frances, Frances Bean Cobain, is his daughter.
Hmm.
Shouts out to Frances Bean Cobain. I think she might have experimented with getting into music, but I think she does art. I think that's her thing that she does. But yeah, like there's some background on that. Who Francis Farmer is and the name sake of his daughter as well. Francis Farmer is actually one of my favorite Nirvana songs. I love the lyrics. I miss the comfort in being sad. Um, it's funny. I miss the comfort in being sad, and then you got the song "Good Grief" by the Foo Fighters. Grief. A lot of sad boy energy here.
Right. A lot of
Um,
emo energy.
yeah, we revisit the witch lyrics from Servants here with the Francis song, which is pretty cool. And of course, I like the lyrics. She'll come back as fire to burn all the liars, leave a blanket of ash on the ground. Great lyrics. Love the solo in the middle of the song. Christ and Dave are just fucking killing it in the middle of the song. Good Grief is a song I don't hate. I don't hate it, and I guess you could say I put hate it in quotation marks because yeah, the song "Good Grief" by the Foo Fighters. Hate it. Yeah, I don't hate it, but it's not one of my favorites. So I got to give Nirvana the W here once again with Francis Farmer.
I would have to agree because I enjoy those little lyrics that you pointed out, like the missing comfort and being sad. I don't know, there's just
Mm-hmm.
something relatable about that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
And plus, I like, again, I like the backstory. Like, I'll mention it multiple times, but I love how Kurt just kind of bases most of his songs on either people that he's admired or experiences that he's had. Like, I know that Courtney, one other factoid about this song is that Courtney wore one of Francis's uh, dresses to their wedding.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, so it
That's
apparently
cool.
had rot on it, but like it she wore it anyway just because it meant so much to Kurt and she also agreed with the message.
That's really cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's another cool story. Yeah, I did not know about that. That's nice. That is nice. I'm actually a big fan of Courtney Love's music, to be honest. Like she's like always been like a hot mess as a person. But like, like I've always appreciated her music artistry and what she had with Kurt as well. I felt like from as an outside perspective, it seemed like what they had was truly genuine. So,
Yeah, I always thought that they were too scrutinized. Their relationship was way too scrutinized.
exactly. A lot like John and Yoko, like similar to that type of vein as well.
I
But
feel like
like,
that one's kind of justified. But I'm not going to go into it, but I did see a story today the about how he cheated on his wife with her, and I was just like, I don't know if I think that they're a good couple
no,
anymore.
no, no, yeah, no. John Lennon notoriously is not a good person.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at least Kurt Cobain, by all like accounts, seemed like a very really good dude. He struggled with so many demons, and it's unfortunate that he met his end so soon
Yeah.
due to those demons. But another Kurt story I wanted to tell. It's something I always like to see. There's a Japanese girl band called Shonen Knife, and people might know them from they sang this song for the Powerpuff Girls. That was like this. There was a song for the Powerpuff Girls that they sang that was like one little music video that used to come on Cartoon Network all the time. Is like it's like I am a fighting girl. Like it's really really cool like little song, but like they were they were a big band. They've been around since like even before I think like early '90s they started. But Kurt Cobain was a huge fan of this band, of this girl band from Japan. So he went to Japan. There's a video of him and Nirvana like hanging out with these girls, and like he's like a giddy little like fanboy when he's like talking to these girls. He's like telling them how great and how talented they are and how it means so much that he gets to talk to them. Like it was such a wholesome moment. Like I just it's really cool to see that. Like here's Kurt Cobain, like at the time a giant, in the music industry, and it's like, like here he is like gushing over this like, this Japanese band, like these girls, and it's just like, it's really cool. Like it, it's a really heartwarming thing.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's one of my favorite things, like one of my favorite little videos. Like, and they're a really cool band. Like they have a lot of like like silly, like goofy songs too. Like so, like it's just I don't know. I think that it's just one of my favorite things. So I wanted to share that story too. Uh, Kurt Cobain was very cool dude. Apparently.
Very.
Yeah. The next set of tracks is "Dumb" by Nirvana and "Floaty" by the Foo Fighters. They're two very melodic pieces. I feel like great demonstration of Dave's voice on "Floaty." I really love "Floaty." It's very peaceful sounding singing. The instruments in "Floaty" actually seem too heavy though to be like befitting of Dave's voice, if that makes sense on Floaty, because like Floaty is overall it's like it does feel like you're floating, like like he floats away, like
Hmm.
like you're like I'm trying to picture myself like floating, but I kind of get distracted by like the heavy drums and the heavy guitar in the background, and I'm like if that would have been less pronounced in the background, I think that Floaty might have won. But "Dumb" by Nirvana is another one of their classics, like another one of their big songs. And I don't know, like I feel like Floaty could have had a chance for me. Like I would have chose Floaty, but I gotta go with "Dumb" by Nirvana.
Hmm. I like the meaning behind both songs, and it's funny that you bring up the nasally thing because Dave Grohl was very insecure about singing this one because of his nasally voice. But I do like that he had, like, it was basically inspired by a dream that he had, which is kind of cool. But I like the meaning, again, the meaning of dumb a little bit more because Kurt Cobain's kind of angry at the world and he's angry about, how people are, sorry, he's angry about how people are so easily amused, and can just like, I feel like those lyrics from Dumb kind of correlate to today because Kurt Cobain's whole thing was how can you have people who just work their jobs, go home and sit and stare at a television all day and they're happy, and he
Hmm.
feels sad about that. And I feel like you could kind of bring that into today's world with people on their phones all the time and people aren't really happy. They're just adapted, you know.
Yeah, they're just dumb.
Yeah. So I as much
Dumb
as I
down.
as much as I like that Floaty is based on a dream, which is always wild to me. I love when songs are based on dreams. I'm gonna have to
Hmm.
give the win to Dumb because I think that it's just an important message.
Hmm. I'd have to agree with you on that. Uh, the next set of tracks was "Very Ape" by Nirvana versus "Weenie Beanie" by Foo Fighters,
Beanie.
which is such a funny fucking name. Weenie Beanie. Dave Grohl's funny
Did you
sometimes.
know that
Just
Weenie Beanie was actually a fast food place?
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It sounds like it would be, obviously. It sounds like it would be. It makes sense. But I don't know. I just I was gonna say "Weenie" is an annoying song to me. I'm sorry. Like I like most like I like pretty much like everything of the Foo Fighters, but like in their catalog. But "Weenie's" such a weird and it's kind of annoying song. It's pretty overbearing to me. And "Very Ape" is one of my favorite Kurt lyrics. It has one of my favorite Kurt lyrics in it. It's "If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask someone else first." Uh, "Very Ape" is gonna get my vote on this one as well.
I would have to agree with you because I did not like Weenie Beanie as much as I would like to give it the point for being named after a restaurant.
Yeah.
I can't.
Sorry, Dave. I'm sure there's other people out there who appreciate Weenie Beanie. Oh my gosh. The next pair of songs is "Milk It" by Nirvana versus "Oh George" by the Foo Fighters. I used to not like "Milk It," but it's actually grown on me, especially like just going back and revisiting these albums this week. I think I added it to my playlist on Spotify after it being like one of the like it's like begrudgingly now it's on my playlist. It used to be one of the only in Utero songs that I didn't have on my like songs list.
Mhm.
But a tremendous chorus for on "Milk It." The lyrics are honestly among like other weird like other weird lyrics on there. But Dave and Christ did their thing on this song pretty masterfully on "Milk It." Um, but "Oh George" though is such a pretty song with tremendous composition overall, and another great example of Dave's like overall range on the Foo Fighters record. I actually chose "Oh George" because like it it's such a I think it's a beautiful song. It's super pretty, and like I said, Dave Grohl uh, really demonstrated his range on the album, and this was another example of that. So I'm going with "Oh George."
I'm going to go with Milk It, just because I really like the lyrics. Like, I'm my own parasite. Don't need a host to live. We feed off each other. We can share our
Yeah,
endorphins. I don't know. There's just
yeah,
something eerie about it, knowing what would happen later on with his suicide.
hmm,
How he's singing about suicide.
yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah. Look on the bright side, suicide. Yeah, like all that. Like, yeah, it's a very dark. It's a very very dark dark song, especially yeah, given what happens later on.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's a song that grew on me for sure. But I went with "Oh George," so you went with "Milk It." Um, and we've got Penny Royalty by Nirvana versus For All the Cows by the Foo Fighters. Now, Penny Royal's another Nirvana giant, and it's going against one of the weaker Foo Fighter tracks here, so it kind of seems unfair, but I gotta say, Cows is a fun song and demonstrates even more range from Dave. And I love the chorus and how it transitions into that chorus. Like, it's all calm until the chorus part's like, boom, boom, it really picks up big in that. Um, so yeah, Cows could have beat other songs on In Utero. I feel like if it would have went against them, but it went against Penny Royal Tea, and I absolutely love Penny Royal Tea. And there's a lot of people who like draw different lyrical like conclusions from Penny Royal Tea and what it's about, but to me, it's just always been just a really really beautiful song by Kurt, and it's got some very zany lyrics about like the cherry flavored antacids and all that stuff. I've always just enjoyed just the song for what it was. I've never really thought it really had much of a meaning to it, but I'm sure like you, as an even bigger like Nirvana and fan and Kurt Cobain like fan, like you might have like more like in-depth analysis of Penny Royalty.
Not on this song specifically. So this actually isn't one of my favorite songs by Nirvana. I have to give it to the Foo Fighters, not cow, sorry, ecstatic.
It's
Not
for all
like
the cows. Yeah, you were right.
for all the cows. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting my
Yeah, that's the one. Ecstatics is the next one. Yep, yep, you got
I'm getting my
it.
list mixed up here.
It's all right.
But I think that it's a nice break because it's so silly. It's just a silly, nonsensical song, and it's a
hmm
nice break from the Nirvana mood because Nirvana is very
hmm
grunge, very sad, very, you know, I as much as I like the lyrics, I just can't vibe with the actual like composition of it.
Yeah, no, yeah. For all the cows is probably an underrated track by the Foo Fighters. So it's cool that you picked it. I'm glad that the cows got some love here. Yeah, the lyrics are funny in that song as well. But yeah, the cows got the love this time. So hey, Weenie Beanie might not have gotten any love, but at least the cows are getting some love. uh, so yeah, for me, Pennyroyal Tea. For you, Foo Fighters for all the cows. The next set of songs, Radio Friendly Unit Shifter by Nirvana versus Ecstatic by Foo Fighters. Radio's lyrics, they really stand out for me. He says, I use once and destroy, which later was a song by Hole, by Courtney Love's band, Use Once and Destroy. Um, the I like he I like the very there's some descriptive lyrics that I really like. He says a blanket acne with cigarette burns. Like that's a great descriptive of like, a cigarette burn, like a blanket that has cigarette burns. Like, he said a blanket acne with cigarette burns.
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of like that kind of like descriptives like that. Like that's really neat. But an ecstatic strength also lies in its lyrics, and it's a very poetic song. It's like poems and songs do go like hand in hand in a way, but it does feel like it reads like the lyrics, especially for ecstatic, read like a poem. Um, and I think it could have gone either way, but I have to go with Radio Friendly Unit Shifter by Nirvana.
Okay. I would have to say, as much as I love this song, I will surprisingly go with ecstatic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ecstatic.
I liked the lyrics a little bit more as much as I like Kurt's lyrics in this one, in the radio one. I especially like the line, "I love you for what I am not."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, I just feel like the ecstatic was just a lot more, like you said, poetic, and it just kind of gives that vibe of like a flow free and poetry type of vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really pretty one. So yeah, I could see why you picked Ecstatic. So another one that we were in different, on radio friendly and Ecstatic. Um, the next track battle was between Tourette's and Watershed, and these songs are so similar to each other. It's kind of funny. Like both are composed very similarly. They're very short lead-ins to the final tracks of the album. Like they're both like so little tracks. But I think out of the two, I go with Watershed by the Foo Fighters myself.
I'm going to be biased because, fun fact that nobody actually knows about me, I do have Tourette syndrome. So I like that he actually wrote a song about Tourette's.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like offensive, you know?
Yeah.
So I actually always liked this one because listening to it as a teenager and especially as an adult growing, because when you grow up, your Tourette's kind of stops being, for most people, stops being as prominent. But listening to it as a teenager is actually, it was kind of nice to have a song that kind of like, even though the lyrics don't really make sense, you kind of get it if you get it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's a good story, and yeah, I have other friends that have that same syndrome as well. So yeah, it is cool whenever artists write about like sensitive topics like that, and it's not like offensive and stuff. Um, and so that's really cool. Uh, so yeah, you go with Tourette's, I go with Watershed. Like I said, both very similar songs in a lot of ways. Like at least like composition wise, they are. And they're both lead-ins to the final tracks on each album, which are "All Apologies" by Nirvana and "Exhausted" by the Foo Fighters. Of course, Nirvana, they chose the perfect closing track with "All Apologies." "Exhausted" is a very nice song, also befitting as a final track and as well in its own right. They both serve to wind down the ride that we've been on with both records. It's like, on a roller coaster, and then this is like the final like little thing, and it's like when you're approaching, just like screeching to a halt there at the end, with "All Apologies." But that's another. This is a beautiful song, honestly, with Kurt Cobain. Um, I've I like normally like like if like something repeats too many times at the end, I get annoyed with it, but not at the end of "All Apologies." Like I could sit there and like repeat like the final lyrics to "All Apologies" over and over again. Like I mean, they do repeat like 20 times at the end.
Hmm.
And he says at the end, yeah, like yeah, and it's "all in all is all we are, all in all is all we are." Like he says it like a ton of times, but I don't know. It's one of those few times that I don't like mind it. It's just beautiful. So obviously I got to go with "All Apologies" as much as "Exhausted" is another really pretty song, and Dave Grohl did a great job with that. Got to go with "All Apologies."
I would most likely go with All Apologies as well because I like that he, again, it has to do with like the foreshadowing of what happens to him because he dedicated
Hmm.
it to his wife and his daughter. So
Hmm.
I feel like it's kind of just a beautiful send off for him. Fun fact though, too, did you know that Frances being his daughter doesn't actually like Nirvana?
Um, I think I had heard that somewhere. I wasn't
Hmm.
sure how true it was, but yeah,
She only ever listens to one song, and I forget the song, but whenever she hears it, she cries. But she
yeah,
has actually said like she doesn't like the band itself. But I think that's really
yeah,
sad um, because he dedicated this song, and she probably doesn't ever listen to it.
yeah. I mean, I can imagine it can't be easy for her. Obviously,
Yeah.
knowing what the band, like the fame and the band and the music industry did to her father's mental health. So I'm sure there's a lot of like negative stigma attached to the music for her. So I could totally see what like why she wouldn't listen to it.
And
As unfortunate as it is.
I do like how this song for the Foo Fighters, "Exhausted," it kind of gives you that vibe at the very end that you are tired. Like I remember listening to it on the way home on the bus, and I was just kind of falling asleep because
Yeah,
not like that the song was bad,
no.
but it kind
Dave
of
Grohl,
gives you that.
and so are we.
Yeah, like it gives you that vibe. It's kind of like one of those. I don't know. It makes you feel like you're tired.
Hmm. Yeah, and the Foo Fighters really took off like after this album. It's a good album. I like the Foo Fighters self-titled album. It's got a lot of great songs on it. "Lone and Easy Target's like one of my favorite Foo songs.
Hmm.
But yeah, like they really took off with their second album. Their second album, "The Color and the Shape," came out in '97, and it had "My Hero" on it, and that was like the song that really launched them into like superstardom and made them like rock and roll giants on their own. Um, but yeah, this like overall both albums very strong. But "In Utero" is, I don't know, like it's hard for me to call it like, like the better, like what's the better album here. But it's like this, it's a great, like especially judging it on all merits, like Foo Fighters self-titled album is literally like I said, like 95% of it was all Dave Grohl. He played all the instruments, he did all the freaking composition, everything, like all on his own.
Hmm.
And that's something to be said for that. Like, and not every single song was like a big winner and like an amazing song, but there's a lot of great artistry and a lot of great range on those albums, on that album, on every track. So it's like, it makes me want to say that I put the Foo Fighters self-titled record as the winner, but at the same time, there's so much on the Nirvana album, and I think like it might overall, I think it had songs like more that I enjoyed on it. Not by much though. Like it's very close for me. But having said that, as much as I want to give the dub to the Foo Fighters, I gotta be honest with myself, and uh, as much as I love the album and think it's fantastic debut album for them. Their second album is way better, "The Color and the Shape," which is a. I hope we get to talk about that on the podcast soon. We can find another album to compare that to.
Hmm. I hope we do another
But
Nirvana one too.
yeah, I hope so too. We can try to find something to compare Nevermind with. Um, so, uh, yeah, gonna have to go with Nirvana and Utero as the better album, but like I said, not by much, because I think that Foo Fighters stands up to this pretty good. Like it's not like a blowout; it's an actual pretty close match, in my opinion.
In my opinion, I did enjoy a few um, songs from the Foo Fighters album, but like I said, mine is mostly bias because I've always been more of a Nirvana fan when it comes to comparing those two. So just by bias sake, as much as I want to open my mind up and give it to the Foo Fighters, I feel like just the meaning behind the entire album of Nirvana is just the winner for me. You know, just all the songs were made with some intent in mind, with backstories, dedications, and even, I mean, the album itself. I mean, the album itself, if you look on the back, it says this album is dedicated to dead relatives. They are safe, warm, and full of happy smiles. And I think that's just so, like, I don't know, it's just nice, you know? I think it was just full
Hmm.
of nice message. And
No, that is a good.
they went back to their raw sound. So, like, I think it was their first album in 2 years since Nevermind. Um, like, Nevermind had a very distinct sound from In Utero. In Utero is very much more grungy, like very much more grunge.
Hmm.
Is that the word I'm looking for? Sorry.
Um. No, yeah, you're right.
So I think I've always been more of
Grungy.
a grunge fan anyway, and
Yeah, it's more grungy.
so I think that In Utero would definitely take the win for me for this one.
Heck yeah, no, okay. So we both chose In Utero. All right, so by unanimous decision, In Utero wins
I'm actually
the album
surprised. I'm
first
surprised.
ever.
Yeah, because I thought that you would go with the Foo Fighters.
I wanted to like, but then I just think just by like a smidge, the In Utero won for me. So it was unanimous then
Yeah.
in that regard.
Yeah, hopefully, going forward with the album clashes, I won't be as biased because when it comes to Nirvana, I'm mostly always biased. So hopefully, with the next one we do with Nirvana, when we find a good pair up, I can actually open my mind up a lot more to the band that they're playing next to, and
Yeah.
they won't always be the winner.
Speaking of bias, I was looking at like a potential like one that we could do for the next album clash. There, we could do one that wouldn't involve a bias at all. We were talking about Courtney Love. We were talking about Hole. Both Live Through This and Celebrity Skin have 12 tracks each. So we could do an album clash between those two Hole albums if we wanted to for a
Yeah,
future episode.
actually,
That would be
sorry.
pretty cool.
Live through this, and what was the other one?
Celebrity Skin
I'm just looking.
from 94 and then 98. 4 years apart, two albums by Hole.
Oh, so we're just gonna kind of debate the two, like the same band, but just different albums.
Yeah, which is more akin to what the album clashes from Talk Is Jericho were. They would do it like with like Metallica with Ozzy, different stuff like that. Like the Beatles, they did some with, but
Okay.
Hole would be a really fun one
Yeah,
to
I'd be
do.
down for that.
Yeah, I think that could be like the next album clash. Doesn't have to be next week. It could be in a few weeks. We could get together and discuss like next week's episode of the
Hmm.
podcast is going to be.
Yes.
But yeah, the next album clash could be the whole albums.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm always down for that. I like Hole.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Beavis and Butthead moment.
Well, this
You
was.
said you went cool.
I mean, this was interesting because I'll just mention that I've never actually done an album clash before, which I think I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. So
Hmm.
this was fun to like, kind of do because I'm learning how to do it. So, you know,
Yeah. Yep. Learn on the fly. They're like my favorite episodes to listen to of Chris Jericho's podcast. When he every time I'd see that he dropped a new one that was the classic album clash, I'd like drop what I'm doing. I'm like, yep, gotta listen to this. It's fun because it gives me. When I go like before even like listening to it, I'll go and listen to the albums that they're going to be talking about. That way, I have it fresh in my mind. I think they did one on the Police. The last one that they did was with the Police,
hmm.
and yeah, that was fun. Like I went and listened to those songs, both the Police albums that they did, and then I went and listened to their takes on it and tried to compare it with mine, and that's fun. Like I think it's a really fun concept.
No, it is fun. It's actually kind of opening up my mind more too, to because like I mentioned at the beginning, I think our first episode was about music from the '90s. I was never a huge
Hmm.
music fan, so I actually didn't grow up listening to a lot of music. I listened to like Eminem a lot. Um, Eminem would be a cool one to do for an album clash,
Oh
by the way.
yeah, he'd be fun too. I was looking at him first because like I had you in mind for like like ones we could do because I knew you were a big Eminem fan, and I was trying to find like, but like it's hard. I don't think his albums have like even numbers of like tracks to them. Even if you like cut out like little like intros and like little skits from the album as well and try to even out the tracks. I mean, maybe you could if you did it that way.
Yeah, if we just got rid of like the little random stuff in between, I'm sure we could.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
yeah,
that could be something to look forward to as well.
yeah, and this was fun. So In
Yeah,
Utero is
this
the
was
winner.
something different. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Utero's the winner. Surprisingly, like I thought we'd be at odds
I did too. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised
because
about
I'm
that.
a huge Dave Grohl fan, and yeah, like overall, like I said, I'm a Foo Fighters guy. Um, but it's mainly due to the fact that we didn't get we didn't get 30 years of Nirvana. you know.
This is
We've been
true.
blessed with 30 years of the Foo Fighters, though, so
Yeah.
they're still releasing great albums to this day. So it's kind of hard to compete with a band that's still releasing stuff when you're not able to anymore.
Yeah. And sometimes, though, bands don't actually get better with age. So I think
Yeah.
Nirvana stopped at a good. Well, they had to stop, obviously. But
Yeah.
I think that given the tragic circumstances, it was done at a time where it. Maybe if they went on for another 20 years, I don't think they wouldn't have been as good. I think it would have caught up with Kurt,
Hmm.
and I think it would have.
Yeah, I don't think he ever planned to continue on, even if anything, even if he would have like been able to overcome like his issues, like
Yeah.
mental health and physical health wise. Like I think that like he was gonna be done anyway. Like he was done with it.
Yeah, so I think it would have bled out into the lyrics a lot and into his music, and I think it would have made it very unenjoyable in the long run. And I think the fans could probably would have been able to note that.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, though, In Utero is definitely the winner, and we're both pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah, and it's good. And it was your first time doing one of these album clashes without any like experience of like seeing how they worked, other than just like a brief like rundown of what it was. And you did a great job. So
Thank you.
it's exciting. Yeah, heck yeah. So yeah, it'll be better the next time too that we do one. And there's so much content that we can do for the podcast, and
Hmm.
I feel like we're not going to run out of ideas. And I'm excited.
No, and these are nice little breaks as well from the main episodes because they're not. I mean, they're as long as the main episodes, but they're not as like what's the word I'm looking for? Thought intensive in the sense of having to remember stories from our past because we're just looking
Hmm.
up stuff, and we're like kind of just writing about like the songs themselves, if you know what I mean. Sorry.
No, no, no. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a different construct, and it's fun. It's a good break from what we're doing, and yeah, like there's like we can still interject with personal stories, but like a lot of the stories we told today are about the actual backgrounds of the songs themselves,
Hmm.
and that's fun. It's different.
Yeah. So with that being said, um, I guess we don't have a idea. We kind of have an idea for next week's episode, but
Yeah,
we'll discuss
there's
that.
several things floating around.
Yeah, I think we agreed on one thing, but we'll discuss it outside of the podcast,
Yeah.
um, and see if that's what we want to go for.
All right. Sounds good.
And in the meantime, anything else you want to say before we go?
Um, no, but Nirvana is like pretty cool and stuff.
Nirvana.
Nirvana is like really cool.
Rest in peace, Kurt.
Rest in peace, Kurt
One
Cobain.
of the greats. But yeah,
One of the greats, Kurt Cobain. You would have loved Sailor Moon Crystal.
yeah, he would have owned that. He would have been like, "Yeah, I love Sailor Moon. What about it?" I feel like he was a guy who wouldn't judge you based on your preferences. Based on what you liked.
No, I think Kurt Cobain would have been a weeaboo, like anime like nerd. I mean, he was a huge fan of that Japanese band, and like, like I wouldn't be surprised if he was also like really big into like anime and stuff.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So that was the first Album Clash episode that we've done, and we'll be back next week with a regular episode.
Yep, yep.
And I'm your host, Rebecca,
And I'm James.
and we are blasting off.
See you.